Conference championship weekend used to mean something. When you played in your conference championship, oftentimes, if you won, you could be playing in the national championship. But if you lost, hey man, get ready for next season. You won't have a shot at playing in the national championship. That was during the BCS era, right? Then you get to the 4-team college football playoff era, where most of the times you could have 2 SEC teams or 2 Big Ten teams, and then you had the Florida States of the world, the Clemsons of the world, Oregon have a run a little bit. But overall, you felt like 4 teams was not enough, especially after FSU got snubbed in 2023. So we go to a 12-team college football playoff, right, which is supposed to eliminate all of this drama. But all it's done is cause more chaos within this sport, because you have allowed the college football playoffs to bastardize everything that was great about this sport. First, bowl games used to matter. Now they're meaningless because the season is all about making it to the college football playoffs. Then you water down the importance of not just winning your conference championship, but also earning the right to play in your conference championship game. So Alabama, who has several ranked wins, 2 of them coming against 2 teams inside of the CFP top 25, and also one of the hardest schedules in America, and also with probably the best head-to-head win in the regular season, going on the road and beating Georgia and Athens, giving them their first home loss in over half a decade. But somehow, them earning the privilege, Alabama earning the privilege to play in the toughest conference in America's conference championship game, somehow is a diminishment on the body of work that they put in to get there over the course of the regular season. You shouldn't be penalized for losing your conference championship game if you're a 10-3 team and get left out of the playoffs in favor of a team that was kicking their feet up in the recliner seat, eating a whole box of Domino's pizza, and join you losing in a conference championship, a game that they couldn't even get to. You have a 8-5 ACC champion and Duke, and yet Miami is trying to make the argument for why they should get in over Alabama, when Alabama has played a tougher schedule, plays in a tougher conference. Let's stop acting like there isn't a gap between the SEC, the Big Ten, and the rest of college football. We want to pretend that everybody is playing the same sport. Just because everybody can spend money still doesn't erase the talent discrepancy between the top teams in the SEC, between the top 10s and the top 4 teams in the Big Ten, and the rest of the other top teams in the respective conferences. Miami has been in the ACC for damn near a million years and still has yet to win this conference even one time, but they have the audacity to say that they should be in over a 10-3 Alabama, who had a way stronger schedule and played way better competition and way more respectable losses. Yes, them losing to FSU is inexcusable. Miami dominated FSU, but Miami lost to 2 unranked teams within their conference. Alabama's conference losses were to Oklahoma and then Alabama in the SEC championship. And Alabama getting blown out by Georgia still shouldn't keep them from playing in the college football playoffs when they earned the right to make it to the SEC championship game. The runner-up in the SEC should never even have to question if they're going to have a seat in the college football playoffs in favor of teams that weren't able to make their conference championship games, because you are watering down the importance of your in-conference schedule and your strength of schedule. You care more about the losses more than you care about the wins. And Alabama's wins this year, which they went on a streak when they won 4 straight games against ranked teams, it weighs heavier than what their losses do. Alabama has better losses than what both Miami and Notre Dame do. So for the committee to even make it a question, a conversation that the runner-up in the SEC should fear losing a spot in the college football playoffs in favor of teams that didn't even play in conference championship weekend. If Alabama gets left out of the college football playoffs, Greg Sankey needs to pack the SEC up and remove this conference from the rest of the sport. 8 out of the 10 most watched teams in college football this year all reside in the SEC. You tell me if college football without the SEC is still going to hit the same. No matter if you hate this conference or you love this conference, we all know that college football at its root runs through the South. Yeah, the Big Ten's catching up, but the Big Ten doesn't have the same quality of depth as what you see in the SEC. So the fact that we are allowing conference championship games to lose their value is an indictment on everything wrong with the college football playoffs. And you think that expanding this thing to more teams is going to solve the problem. No, it's not. You are always going to have teams that get left out. But when it comes to if a 10-3 Alabama should get into the college football playoffs, if they forfeited the conference championship and they didn't play in the SEC because Alabama didn't need to play Georgia again, they could easily say, you know what, we're going to forfeit this game and we're going to use the regular season win that we had against Georgia as our strength, as our head-to-head over them versus running the risk of playing them again and losing, especially if we have a bad afternoon. Playing in your conference championship game, it doesn't matter if you are a 3-loss team or not. If you earn the right to get there, you should get a spot in the playoffs. Wins still matter in this sport. It's not always about the losses. Oh, you can't put a 3-loss team in the college football playoffs. Who says that you can't? There is no rules that disqualifies a 3-loss team for being in consideration for a playoff spot. And if you're going to penalize Alabama for making it to the SEC championship, then they're better off not playing in the game to begin with, because the risk outweighs the award. Alabama playing Georgia in the SEC championship game was not a playing game for Alabama. What it was a game which would decide who would get a first-round bye. And if Alabama won, they would be a top 4 team. But with Georgia winning, they get that top 4 spot. But Alabama's playoff spot should never have been in question because they have a stronger schedule than both Miami and Notre Dame, better wins and better losses. And Miami doesn't have more than one ranked win. And they won a conference that is a G5 level power conference. Well, they didn't even win that. They couldn't even make it to the conference championship game. And I love Notre Dame, but they shouldn't be in the playoffs either in favor of Miami. But we have destroyed the importance of conference championship weekend.